we were in KPCL. Narada Bhakti came, asked for, he will do the services, computer and all that for KPCL. Long back, before he started process.
What did they say?
He said, we are not yet, those are big computers there. So then they did not, because they wanted to have their own computer lab. So that's what they did. So let's start. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanam Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So 61st, second sutra. Natat siddhau loka vyavaharo heyaha kintu phalatyagaha tat sadhanancha karyameva. Last time I explained about that, and that is that tat siddhau na loka vyavaharo heyaha. That means to say, don't reject the loka vyavahara until the time that you are really into that. That means to say, it is not that you are rejecting it. You never reject the whole thing. Only thing is you transcend. It's like the way that a fruit leaves the plant when it is ripened. Like that, in bhakti also, in prema also, when you are in that state, then loka vyavahara, then heyaha, na heyaha, until the time that don't leave that loka vyavahara. That means you are supposed to be the way, like the way that you are in the normal world, like anybody else. And unless until somebody really comes close to you, will not know that you are a sadhaka. You are really seriously going. But that is what we are doing in the loka vyavahara. All the activities that we are doing, passionately we are doing, we are involved in that. But what happens is that only one small little suggestion that he gives, or addition that he gives, is kintu phalatyagaha. That means don't attach to the phala. Because basically what happens is, work is not a burden. Phala is the burden. Work does not cause anxiety. Phala causes anxiety. That's why just focus on the activity, but don't have the phala. Phalatyagaha. And that itself is the sadhana. That sadhanam cha karyameva. In every activity that we do, that's what is the sadhana. Yesterday I was telling somebody how in Prashanti group of doctors, I was telling that how we can make that. Like for example, those days phone telephones were not there. So I used to go from Chamarajpet to Jayanagar to meet Shastri. Walk down to Shastriji house. When I go there, my sister would say, "Oh, Shastriji is not there, he has gone to say village." How that? Then what do you do? Then I'll go back. Then you came all the way walking and then you go back. Yeah. See, anyway that I have to walk. And at the same time, if I'm tired on the way, I'll sit down because there are benches and the parks all the way. I can sit down and then walk. So, karyameva that you need to do it. That's sadhana. Normally, fret and fume and all these things come. Without doing that, because basically phalatyaga. Fret and fume comes because of the phalatyaga. I have wasted so much of walking. I came all the way and he is not there. How many times that we do that way? That we put all the effort, but it did not work out all right. So we basically the problem is because of the phala. So once you don't have the phala, that your eyes are on the phala. When you are working, then what the people see is that you are also part of the loka vyavahara. So this is what Narada says, that until that time that the vyavahara itself drops off from you, until that time you continue to do it. Because at one particular stage, when you are so absorbed in that, then loka vyavahara does not happen. It does not happen. Not that you are giving it up. That's what is the idea. And The next sutra is more important sutra, 63rd sutra. Stridhana Nastika Vaira Charitra Na Shravaniya. Yeah, last time I just touched it. And the Stri, that means opposite sex, Dhana, money, Nastika, non-believer in God, Vaira, that means enemy, Charitram, that means the description of that and dwelling on that, Na Shravaniya. Generally, translations are that you should not listen to that. Why you should not listen to that? That means to say, by listening to them, by their presence, that your sadhana will be getting affected. This is
listening to whom?
Sorry?
Listening to whom?
Listening to either the Charitra of the Sri or Charitra of Vairi. Charitra means basically the description and all those things of women, and of Nastika, that means to say if you are listening to somebody who is a non-believer of God. So Charitra basically means that whatever that they are saying, whatever about them, description about them, if you are doing that, then naturally that will dislodge you from your service, from your sadhana. That disturbs you from your sadhana. But that is what normally people say that. But I would not agree with that. I'm not looking at that way, because basically that your journey, your spiritual journey is so strong and it comes from within. That means to say, telling the truth comes from within. And if lie should not truth is not afraid of lie. See, the good is not afraid of bad. See, all this, when you put it that way, it looks like that. The good is afraid of bad. That means to say that medicine is afraid of disease. It's not like that. So that, because basically that all these things, that it comes from within. So therefore, it is not that way. Meaning is not that way, that Nashravadiyam. It's like an injunction for you. You should not do this, you should not do this, like that. That is not the tone at all. In fact, there is nothing like negativity. This you should not do it. That idea itself is not there. In the Raja Yoga, some people say that, yeah, you should not do it. Even there also, I don't agree with that, but here particularly, it is not like that. But then in what way that he says that Sridhana Nastika Vairi Charitram Na Shravaniyam, it means essentially that these are the things which are not worth listening to it, not worth paying attention to it. In the sense that you have so much graduated, you have so much out of it, above that it looks very simple. Why? That is what we need to have explained. That's the reason this sutra is quite significant in that sense. Because basically, when we look at Stri, one component of the Stri is that it is the gender. Okay. The second component is that it's actually not Stri, but it is the opposite gender when you take it that way, because Narada means for both men and women, particularly Bhakti Sutras is for the women. Okay. So, in which case, what happens is opposite gender. There is one component of it is that attraction for the opposite gender. But apart from that, there are so many other things that are involved. Like, for example, a woman can be a mother, woman can be a child, woman can be somebody else, woman can be a friend. It cannot be only just your partner that way. And not only that, it's not just only the human being who has that opposite gender connection. Wherever the creation is there, there's always that opposite gender. How natural it should be. It should be so natural. So therefore, essentially that there is nothing like that. There is nothing like that. In fact, you see that in other species, do you mean to say that there is anything like a taboo for that? Why we created such a taboo? It is Puritans created the taboo. Otherwise, the realists do not create a taboo. So that means to say what happens is that there are so many other aspects of women that is there, so wonderfully integrating with our life. That itself will miss by saying that this way, that women is supposed to be taboo. See, it's not in that sense that you have to. Can we not see something different other than just only a opposite gender partner? Apart from that, are there not so many other features that women that has? And there's a very small little portion of it. It is not the whole lifetime problem that is there. I think the whole interpretation came from the Western concept or from the other alien concept, but not our concept. Because in our concept, look at the way that we do, that women Shoda puja that we do it, and then women goddesses are there. We have so many aspects of it. And the house belongs to the woman. That's what is Gurhini. So, and a child is born, girl child is born, is Lakshmi born, we say that. That means how much of a different attitude that we have built up. So all those things we miss it. If you look at women only something like that. In fact, that's why I don't really coordinate with that idea or contribute to that idea that we should not look at women. You know that that's why sayings were there. There was one story of Mirabai. It says that they said that no women are allowed inside the temple. But then Veera dancing and she goes, and then the other person also in ecstasy, they go there. And when they go there, then suddenly he became angry. He said, how did she come in? Then she asked, oh, and said, no woman. They said, in Vrindavan, that there's only one man. That's what is Krishna. All others are women. You are also woman, I'm also woman, all that. Oh, but today I found out there is another man. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested only in Krishna. See how you can look at it.
So Nashravanyam can be said brahmacharya.
This brahmacharya is also, it was unnecessarily projected that way. That's why when I give Narada Bhakti Patanjali Sutra as brahmacharya, I give a different definition for brahmacharya. See, brahmacharya in ashrama bene is a different thing. And in the grahastha ashrama brahmacharya is a different story. So that's how we need to look at it. And people unnecessarily make it too much of this thing. And some Swamiji was coming for one of our conference inauguration. And then they made a big hue and cry that he will not look at women, so that actually all the way enters into Prashanti and then goes to campus and conference and everything. No woman should be there, not even a female dog, which he should not see. So, and the main person there is Nagaratna. He's not supposed to get and that yoga therapy conference. You look at what is the option. Oh, she is also not there. How to go there? And apart from that, because he came to know that he's coming for yoga therapy conference. So he had some ailments. He wanted to consult Nagaratna. Look at all the complications.
The concept of yoga
Yeah, actually they were in different rooms. Nagaratna was in this room, he was in that room, he was talking and all that. And also she was not talking loud because he hears her voice, therefore she talks slow. And then there is somebody man who speaks loud to her.
The concept of yoga is not there.
So all that happened, it was like a big drama. Next year, it so happened that I was in USA. And 2 years later, because every 2-year conference is there. 2 years later, I was in USA. And then just I wanted to play a trick with them, saying that, oh, I met a great Swamiji. Hey, it's a great sannyasi. He's a very he has realized this thing and all that. He agreed to come for the conference. That itself is a great blessing for the conference, but he is coming. But only one simple condition. What is that? He doesn't want to see any man, only women should be there. And so everybody was panicked because they thought it was very serious that I said, because I already said that I have already fixed that appointment with him. He's going to inaugurate the conference and he'll be there. But only thing is that only women should be there, no men should be there. Not even Nagendra should be there. And all that. They said, who is that Swamiji coming? I said, Raghuramananda. What is all these things? And in fact, the very concept that you have that kind of a thing about women is degrading women. You see, women handles so many roles, so extraordinary roles. In fact, our not only the world outside, our own scripture said that women is supposed to be a partner for him only in the bed. Otherwise, that Karyeshu Mantri Karane Sudasmi, so many things that are there as a woman, even that you don't look at women in that sense. I don't know why people have that kind of an idea that women, Stri Dana Nastika, so you avoid this kind of thing. It's not, and that doesn't even give any idea about the bhakti at all. In fact, after all, if you do not actually accept that, then where is the question of bhakti? Similarly, like that, this dhana, money. You see, money is a means that we actually the whole thing is to see that you are comfortable, you have the comfort of living life, and then it is respecting the life. For respecting the life that you require money, we have converted the money to, and why we have to deny the money? Money, only thing is we have to recognize what the money used for. That's what is important. Dhana, rejecting is not the idea. Not that you are living on the dhana. Because many times what happens is, this problem with the dhana, the money is that, with the wealth is that, it hooks on you. And you start getting it. Basic purpose of money, basic purpose of currency is supposed to take care of few things. But then slowly what happens, all the other things will become secondary. Money becomes primary. What it is supposed to do it, beyond that we get attached to it. Once I was in Chennai airport, there was working, and a friend of mine invited me for the breakfast. And he was a wealthy man, I think, in Piyush Gardens, and that was his house, where you can imagine what kind of person he was. And so I went to the morning for the breakfast. He sent me the car, and I went there. And then then he was counting 500 rupee notes, bundles and bundles and bundles. In the morning, he was counting. My God. I said, let me just touch it. Anyway, then so breakfast table, I went there. I sat down, and naturally posh house, posh this thing, inlay table and all that, and central there is a carousel. And then all the items were there, dosa, idli, all those things, first level, second level, chutney, and the third level, all this purple, there are all kinds of things, all the powders and all that. And so I just picked up whatever that I would like to have it. He is sitting, his wife is sitting. I said, I took it. Then suddenly I realized he did not take anything, and then he was just sitting and watching, and she's also watching. I felt embarrassed. I said, why don't you have it? They said, no, you take it. You please have it. I said, but I feel embarrassed. I'm sitting all alone, and why don't you join me? Then I said, he said, idli those I can't take it because I have cholesterol. And this I can, diabetes. This I cannot take it because of cholesterol. So wife was giving me all the details that he doesn't take this, he cannot take this, he cannot take this. On the top one, that there are color pills out there. That's what is very different. Oh my God. All that money he was counting for only that pills to the top, but not other things. It was so bad. I said, okay, madam, at least you also can join because I'm sitting all the time. She was very blunt. She said, I'm sitting here to see that he will not pick up anything. What? So dhana is there, but dhana, what is the use of dhana? See, it's like Midas. Anything that you touch becomes gold. But then, what can you do with that? In fact, we are opposite. Anything we touch will become mud. Midas, what he touches becomes gold. But even that's also useless. Because he takes the water. He is thirsty. He takes water. The moment he touches the water, his tongue, immediately it became gold. His thirst is not taken care of. So actually, dhana means what? It is useful. It is powerful. If it is not useful, what way that money is different from the cupboard in which the money is there. In what way it is different from that cupboard? Cupboard is also matter, money is also matter. That's all. It's not useful, that's also not useful. So this is how essentially dhana means that. Dhana means actually that's why we have given such a beautiful idea about money. It is chanchala. It just has to flow. It is like a rumbling river. Then is something which is useful. If it is not doing that, stagnant water, what is dhana? So he says that dhana has to be used like dhana, then it doesn't disturb you. It just flows. So beautiful stories like that. Raman Maharshi, he never had anything for himself. This is sitting under a tree. And somebody came, businessman came, said, Swamiji, I am really impressed by you and all that. I would like to give you some donation. Gave some, no, it was not for Raman Maharshi, it was for the very Mahaparya, that is Swamiji, Kanchi Swamiji. And he said, I have this money, wanted to give this. So he put it there. He just didn't do that. He put it there. Then some, about 1,000 rupees, 5,000, those is whatever it is. School teacher came and said, my daughter's wedding is there. I'm very sad because, you can't perform the wedding because I borrow money, this and that, with high this thing, interest and all that. Then Swami said, yeah, that's where we take it. He didn't even touch it. He didn't even see how much it is there. They just take it, use it. He said, but somebody has given you, said, whoever has given our work, money has to do its work. This is what is dhana. Nastika is another very beautiful concept that he has. Everybody is born Nastika. Belief in God. Nobody has it, no child has it. There's nobody who is not an Astika to start with. We try to feed the child that God is there, temple is there, pray to the God before the food he has given. We created the feeling of God. So that's all. But do you mean to say that he has really become Astika? No. Astika is something that. But once he develops, and another thing is that Nastika, that Astika that he is, it's only fear. You create that astika for the fear. God will punish you. God will do this. It's like that for children. If you don't do that, God will punish you. So that you are afraid of God. So the moment that you are afraid of God, the fear of God, it means basically that God is not important. You are important. Your safety is important. That's also I said earlier also that if this fear is there driving you, then you are still an astika. You are not an astika. Astika is when you start seeing the God in the human being, in the world, in his creation. Where else can you find God? And when can you see God in this creation? When you see something which is extraordinary, something big, something highly compassionate, something highly achieved. These are the things which, you see, it naturally flows from within us. From the language, anywhere in the world, you say that, oh my God. You see, that God is an expression that comes about. Then he becomes Astika. So therefore, basically what happens is that Nastika, when the graduation or the fulfillment of Nastika is supposed to be Astika. It is the step forward. It is a step which is growth. It is like the way that an Astika is not afraid of Nastika, is not running away from Nastika, but it is the fulfillment of Nastika becomes. And it's like a mother of Astika. That's what is the idea. The faith of God makes you to see in this world only. It's not anywhere else. Therefore, we say that yes, God is there. Something extraordinary that we see, whatever it may be. That's why in the case of Buddha, Buddha is supposed to be somebody non-God kind of a religion, Buddhism. So Buddha said there is no God. Only thing is you meditate and you go to Nirvana. That's what is very simple, straightforward. Buddha himself denied God. But Buddha became a big God. People made a God of him. That means to say, even the denial of God can impress on somebody to show that he is God. That is the idea. Ramakrishna Paramahansa's story also like that. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he was praying Kali. And then this Keshav comes to Ramakrishna and he argues with him that God does not exist, God will not be there, and all those things. Ramakrishna is smiling and laughing and in ecstasy as long as that he was giving the argument. Keshav was confused. He said, well, I'm actually I'm criticizing you. And then you are laughing, you are smiling. What is this? Then Ramakrishna goes in and gives him a hug and says, but for God, nobody has created an intellect like you are. What a wonderful sound argument that you have given for all those things. So it can be like that. So if you can, the moment that you see something which is excellent, you feel the God. It's not for the sake of the world outside. It's you feel it. That feeling is something which is very important. That's why Nastika Charitra Na Shravaniyam. That means to say, you have gone to a level where, see, out of love, you start appreciating everything and anything. Where is the question of Nastika? Nastika doesn't exist, but so that's what you have outgrown the Nastika. So such a person, in the earlier sutra, when they said, Tat Siddhav, Na Siddhav Loka Vyavaha. You are supposed to do it. But when it happens, Siddha, when you reach that, when you are experiencing that, in such a case, when you experience in that case, then what happens? A woman will look at women as a complete individual and complementary and much more respectful individual. Same way, when you look at money, and then you see that what is the money can do, you start developing respect for that. The same way when you look at Nastika, you say that, wow, what a wonderful way that one can grow into. These are the things that you get. And Vairi, this is also another beautiful sutra that he says, Patanjali gives us one sutra. He says that if you are established yourself in ahimsa, then there is no Vairi. Ahimsayam pratisthayam tat sanidav vaira tyagaha. Vaira not being there. You are so filled with the ahimsa. Now here, the sutra, Buddha and Patanjali use this idea of ahimsa to replace the idea of love. See, love is one thing that we can say that we need to have it, but what is the way that you can bring the love into the transaction level? In what way you can bring in the love in the transaction level other than ahimsa? See, in the moment you are in the state of love, see, forget about ahimsa. The moment when you have love, you can't even destroy a paper. See, because that a love letter that comes, somebody has written nice letter. You preserve it, you keep it as this, you don't want to destroy it. It's something which is very careful, very rare that you do it. See, that means it gets life. The moment you get, so that means to say love is something that gives life. You can't destroy. And a part of destruction is what is himsa. So love and himsa cannot go together. Therefore, if you want to bring in love into the activity level, only the way that in the activity level you bring it is the ahimsa. Activity level, it is ahimsa. So that means to say, when ahimsa is there, where is the question of vaira? Vairatva is not there. That's why Patanjali gives the sutra, ahimsayam pratisthaya, tat sanidha vairata. Not only that you are not having vairatva, around you vairatva doesn't exist. Isn't it very beautiful? Love is so soft and gentle. Actually, it looks so, all other things will look so hard, powerful, whereas love looks very gentle and simple. And somebody gave this idea that it is like the way that a living tree, it has roots in the soil, and the roots are live. And on top of it, you have put the concrete road and all that. The structure is hard, but look at the way that as if these roots are not doing anything, they are just peaceful. But at the same time, after a while, you see that the road is blocked, disturbed, and the structure is broken. That's the power of love. So that means, say, bad cannot exist when the love is there. Vaira cannot exist. That's what we have seen also in the case of Sharda Devi. When she said, Father, my name is Sharda, dacoit could not be a dacoit. Just had to come out. Anguli Mala, that was the case also like that. We don't know the power of love. We don't know the importance of love. That's why when you are in the state of love, then there is no question of vairi that is there. So, Stri Dhana Nastika Vairi Charitram Na Shravaniya. That means to say, they are not worth for you. It is like the way that you have graduated yourself and then you're asked to go to a kindergarten school to know about these things. Where is the kindergarten? Where is graduation? So you are at that level. That's what is the sutra. Tat Siddha, when you get into that, this is what is the idea of Siddhatva. Siddha is somebody that who doesn't have animosity with him. Siddha is somebody who can't look at women in a different way. It has to be only a complete personality that way he looks at. Abhimana Dambhadikam Tyajya. The next sutra, 64th sutra. Abhimana Dambhadikam Tyajya. Dambha is supposed to be vanity. That means you are showing off for everything. That's what is vanity. There is no reason to show off. In fact, there is somebody who takes to bhakti is a person who is very humble and soft and gentle. He doesn't even announce himself. That is the kind of nature. There is a question of vanity. So vanity consciously we should avoid it. And abhimana. Now, you see, this is another very beautiful thing that he uses here. Abhimana dambhadikam tyajyam. And next sutra, that is 65th sutra, tadarpita kilacharata, kama krodha abhimana adikam tasminnev karani. Again, he brings abhimana there. Earlier also used abhimana. Abhimana dambhadikam tyajyam. That means to dambha and abhimana. Leave it up. Leave it behind. That means you don't need it. The second thing is, he says that tadarpita kilacharata. Kilacharata, everything means to be tadarpita. That means arpita towards God, arpita towards the society, towards the self-service, or towards the love, out of love that you do it. Tat arpita akila acharata. Acharata, anything that you do it. Sun, that means like, what are the things? Kama, krodha, abhimana, adi. These are the things which is. Again, he brings about abhimana. See, he uses two different expressions of abhimana, depending upon two different contexts. One thing is that the first one he says that abhimana dambhadika. It is an abhimana which is similar to dambha. And abhimana there, it is the arrogance. Abhimana is the pride, arrogance. And it is like dambha. Dambha is like the way that what you have, vanity. Vanity and arrogance, both these things they are like twins together. So, and it shows up again and again very easily. Vanity shows up. What you did, all that thing.
Give some examples.
Yeah.
Vanity and arrogance.
Yeah. It's like the way that, before I give that example, I give you another very important aspect of it, connected with that, similar to that. And that is like, we always say that freedom. And it's not the question of that I have the freedom. We say that, my money gives me freedom. My nation freedom, freedom, economic freedom, social freedom, geographical freedom. These are things we talk about. But we have never understood another aspect of it. Is it that your economic freedom, you are this thing, or is it something like, do you respect the freedom itself? It's a big difference. If you respect the freedom itself, that means you do not use your money to take away somebody else's freedom. You do not take away your riches. You do not use your riches to take away somebody else's freedom. You do not take away your position to take away the freedom of somebody else because you respect the freedom. If I am boss, my boss position should not take away the freedom of the others. Very important. If I'm a guru cannot take away the freedom of the Sishyas. If you understand it. Because it's not a question of guru or Sishya, question of respecting the freedom itself.
What is freedom?
Freedom means basically, you see, like for example, if I'm a guru, I'm teaching freedom. That means you should feel all the more free to interact, express, and give yourself to me. You should feel free. There's no way you should feel that I'm wrong. Oh, because of somebody else I'm wrong. Because of boss is there I'm wrong. No.
Yeah.
You see?
No fear, no inhibition.
Huh?
No fear and no inhibition.
Yes.
But that doesn't come to everyone. Okay, you are telling, so you are free.
But you know, that's what is the kind of gurus are. That's the right kind of phrase. Somebody expressing his freedom. Somebody is expressing his freedom. It should automatically make the others feel. You see, like for example, it's not the sharing the riches, sharing this and that. It's not that. The idea is that sharing the freedom. Sharing the freedom, that's what is important. Can I share that freedom with you? In the sense that I feel free, the same way that you should also feel free. In my presence, you should not feel inhibited. You should not feel that you are controlled, you are boundaried. You see, that's what is the real freedom.
Everyone should understand.
So,
Something in family also.
in family also, yes,
People we interact day to day.
yeah. In fact, you know, a friend of mine, he always used to say that, you know, Hitler about his father. Hitler is at home. Hitler is not at home. Hitler comes home. So he always used to tell like that. So and he says, you come in the evening because evening Hitler would have gone out. Could say like that. Then one day we went to his house. We were there, 2, 3 of us. We were sitting in his house. And suddenly his father came down from the staircase. The moment father came down from his staircase, everybody got up. All of
Because he has given that kind of.
he said, "Ela, Kutkoli sir, please, Kutkoli. You know, just my son. He always calls me the Hitler. That's why you're afraid." But he is never afraid. He gives that freedom to his son. I see. You can call him as Hitler also, that's okay. Father knows about it.
He's not.
Beautiful it is.
It's community.
He says, "Police sir, you know, I also joined you in our conversation." He came and joined us in our conversation so easily, as if he's our colleague. Not like his son is our, he's like our colleague. See, that is the kind of thing. Can you give that freedom? It's the idea. And this can be done in the day-to-day life, it's not anything else. There are fathers. But unfortunately, what happens in our country, the way that we have created ourselves, everything is something which is like, I'm big and you are authority. Everything is
And
authority.
not control.
Yes, control. The freedom. And that's why. And another thing is that it's not at the heart level. Heart gives you freedom. It is intellect that gives you control. Intellect says no. Heart says yes. Anything is yes. Love says yes. Whereas intellect says no. If for everything, no. Child says it's nice weather outside, let's go outside and play. No, don't play. Why? Yes. So everything that no comes because that you don't want to, you want to draw a boundary. This is so. This is what is essentially. This is what is called as abhimana, arrogance. This is the arrogance of your position, arrogance of your money. See, that's why it is said that you speak fine, let not your money speak.
Yeah.
See how important it is. You know, somebody said, Raghuramji, My son is having going through a lot of problem and all those things. Can you please help him? Just talk to him and counsel him. And I heard that you are doing a lot of good counseling and all this. Why don't you do that? My son, help him to come. And don't worry, I have a lot of money. Why did you bring
Don't
that?
worry.
I have a lot of money. You don't worry about it. I have a lot of money. I said, money question never came in the picture. See, this is what is arrogance of money. Arrogance of knowledge. Arrogance of knowledge also. I talked to somebody and everything is wonderful, convinced about that. The child happy because child is going through suffering, and then I talked everything becomes suffering. And then the mother says, I told him already all these things what you said. I already told her what all that you said, but when it comes from you, then she will listen to you.
In front of the child.
But my God, why do you bring this abhimana? This is what is dambha, vanity, arrogance. These are the things.
Arrogance of youth also I have the
Arrogance of youth. That's what it is. That's why consciously kaddam this abhimana dambhadikam, adikam. Of that,
all that saying is rationality.
vanity, arrogances, you have vanity. Vanity is the second portion is vanity.
Praise
The second, yes, you praise for yourself. Oh, I have already did all this. I did this course, I did that course. Before Raghuram, I came here, I did that Art of Living course, and I did Jaggi Vasudev, that course. Then why did you come to me? I've not done any of those courses. I'm just I'm not even a YS.
So some people have that.
Yeah.
I am running from.
I have not even done a Vayashi. I'm yet to waiting to do a Vayashi. Yoga Bharti, if it gives me a chance. So this vanity is something. You see how subtle these things. You meant to say that anything to do with the God? With yourself. That's what is the idea. But then, tadarpita akila acharata, kama krodha, abhimana, adikam, tasminneva karaniya. This abhimana is different from that abhimana. And this, you see, it's a very subtle difference. And if you can understand this difference, it's very, very important. One thing what happens is, the moment that you become a bhakta or you go to the path of bhakti, immediately people think that you have lost your self-respect. You become very meek. You become very weak. Yeah, because you are surrendered. Surrendered, people can walk around you. People can easily ride over you. No, actually, that is what is abhimana, is dignity. See, these are the two different things. What I said, arrogance is something, dignity is something different.
This thanks for giving this. I had in my mind for several years.
Yeah.
If I don't have that note, then nobody will respect you.
So we should have the dignity. But this dignity, tasminneva karaniya. I have the dignity because I'm protected by the God. I'm in the part of this divinity. I have that divinity, respect for it. In fact, my experience of love is that love of divinity. That's what is the idea. There is nothing short of it. So this is basically, that's why there are all these three things are kama, krodha, abhimana. These three things. So kama is also not bad. Yeah, you desire, you want it, you get it. And krodha, that means you are angry with somebody. All those things, we have to do it with awareness. Yes. Kama, krodha, abhimana, adikam, tasminneva karaniya. It's not for the sake of my establishing, it's for the sake of divinity. Like, for example, today we stand strong for this culture, for this Sanatan Dharma. Yes, you do it. We have that kind of an abhimana. It's abhimana towards the Sanatan Dharma. If Modi says, you see, look at the way, he's the humblest person that you can come across. But when the When he's speaking, he says that घर में घुस करके मारेंगे in Pakistan. घुस के मारेंगे. Go inside your house and kill you. And that's what he did it. You see, that it clearly can see the difference between the dignity, self-respect, and also the idea of surrender. Right. So this dignity has to be there. And that dignity only for the sake of divinity. Nothing less than that. See, that you can see, he went there. If this yesterday's scene itself is very indicative. Last time that when Australia won the award, they pushed the president, that is the Sharad Pawar away, pushed him out, disrespected him. This time Modi went there to give the award. He just gave the award to him and then walked out. He did not even wait there to give us the shake hand. That person was waiting for him. No. But on the other hand, he went to the Indian dressing room.
He battered them.
And he was not a prime minister there. He was not a prime minister. He was 140 billion people of India. 1.4 billion people.
Similarly, he did in Chandrayaan.
Yes.
Shivan.
Right.
Right.
Yes. It was not prime minister. It was 140 million people of India. That's what 140 crores of it. See, that's what it is. He has that. So this is what, and for that sake, he will do it. He will not do otherwise. He will not just go and pat the Pakistani chief minister, the prime minister.
Yeah.
No, that he will not do. They will do for the sake of
Shivan.
do small little boy, he will do it. That's what is the idea. So tasmin neva karaniya. See, do the activity. You are doing all that. You see, that shows that you are lively.
So do the activity with dignity you're doing.
Yeah.
Dignity for the sake of dignity.
Dignity. For sake of dignity. Whether it is dignity, whether it is love, whether it is passion, it's for sake of dignity that you do it. So that's why Kama Krodha Abhimana Tasmin Neva Karaniya. And all these things you saw there, Abhimana. Tasmin Neva Karaniya. Tasmin Eva, that's very important. Only for the sake of when it is divinity that is there, I do project that, I do for that.
Though not for self.
Not for
must-
self. Yes.
Not for vanity.
Right. Not a vanity, not out of
You're
vanity.
not doing it for sake.
Yes. So press people are there, therefore, he said so beautifully, don't cry, press people are seeing.
There's a
People
clear
are-
difference between Abhimana and dignity also. Now, many times I have seen people having exactly opposite of Abhimana, that is totally self.
Yeah,
Dignity is only not there.
Right. That should not be there. That's why he says that you have to feel this. There's no question of
They
it.
feel I'm worthless.
Right.
They start
Yeah.
believing that's.
Because basically that you are not yourself individual. You are the divinity yourself. So for that sake that you have to give the idea. Very important sutras to contemplate actually. And this is what brings about Bhakti Yoga in our day-to-day life. Trirupa Bhanga Purvakam Nitya Dasha Nitakanta Bhajanatmakam Premaika Karyam Premaiva Karyam Premeva Karyam Premaiva Karyam. That's what is 66th sutra. Bhakta Ekantinum Kyaha Kanthavarota Romancha Ashrubi Parasparam Lapamanaha Pavayanti Kulani Prithvi Vicha. Trirupa Bhanga Purvakam. It's a very beautiful thought Narada brings about. Normally what happens is that we have Advaita is something which, before we talk about this, Dvaita, Advaita, Visishta, Advaita, in my view, people have really created the whole of vessel, the whole thing by creating philosophies around that. But they are not actually philosophies, they're experience. In fact, the very idea itself is Anubhavamiti Shastra. Shastra comes out of Anubhava.
Experience.
Yes, if it is not Anubhava, then I cannot create any Shastra. If I create a Shastra that, stone flies, stones do not fly. My Anubhava is the stone is down. How can stone fly? No. My meditation, I make the stone to fly. Answers. Don't talk about this. So therefore, any Shastra it is developed is based on our Anubhava. So if somebody said about Dvaita, Advaita, Visishta, Advaita, these are all supposed to be Anubhava, those people. They did not make it big philosophy of it. Like our own life experience, when we look at it, there are moments where you feel that Advaita Sthiti, Anyata not being there, we are one. Like somebody says that you are here, yes, we are here. It's one body here, that's what is satsang body. It's not too many people. So Advaita is our own experience inside. Family together. It's one experience of Advaita. There's no duality. So this is an experience, and we must have that experience. Husband and wife and child should have that experience.
So for our existence, is philosophy required?
Our existence, philosophy explains about that. Like for example, you go to the give you this idea. Go to the restaurant to eat food. Once in America, an American couple took me to the restaurant, and then there the wife is saying to the husband that, come on, you pay your bill and I will pay Raghuram's bill. See, immediately you said, you, which means Dvaita doesn't exist there. Not only that husband and wife, even a guest is also, it's not separated. Advaita. Have you any time did like that? Any time? Can't, your heart will not allow. Because Advaita is something which you are feeling. Same Brahman that I have come from, the same Brahman you have come from. Same Brahman I have come from, the same Brahman even your own dog, your own cat that comes from. See, if your own dog suffers, is it not your suffering? Why did you suffer? Because deep inside that Advaita feeling is there. You can't take food that day.
Yes.
So this is the idea. Advaita is our own feeling because we come from the same unit, same one single source. There are two different sources. The dog has got dog God, as I've got my dog God. So I come from my God, dog comes from dog God. Nothing like that. You can't feel it.
So philosophy is based on our existence.
Our existence, our experience. But at the same time, that we also have Dvaita feeling. Dvaita feeling is like this, that guest has come, let us take care of it.
Yeah.
See, we need to first feed him and see. How many times the woman will say that, come on, let them have food, then we will have food. You are hungry, you did not have food. No, but I will feed, and then Dvaita feeling. So same way that under special circumstances, we have Visishta Advaita. So all these three things are there in our own experience.
Okay.
They are not philosophers. And in fact, you see, geometry comes from our own experience. 2 points you join with a straight line, you will say it's a straight line. That's a geometry law. It comes from our own experience. A thing like geometry, a thing like algebraic laws come from our own experience. You mean to say that these things will not come from our own experience? That's what is our own experience. They are not separate things. So like this, that there is often this idea, Dvaita, Advaita, but actually, now this Visishta Advaita, I'll come into that, because that supplies this very. It says, Trirupa Bhanga Purvakam. It is, we say Dvaita, that means you and me are object and myself and my object, myself and my chair. But then there is one more thing that is there involved in that. It just does not come only these two, but then third thing is involved, the interaction, the transaction between these two. That's an unseen kind of a thing. This chair provides me an opportunity to sit down and helps me to see that I'm comfortable. So that means there's so many things this chair is doing for me. This is actually Trirupa. It's so beautifully said that in Sangamam, Prayaga Sangamam, three rivers. What is that? Ganga and Yamuna. Saraswati is Guttagamini. Yeah, it comes from that. It doesn't come. Between these two, between me and the chair, the connection is Guttagamini. Between you and me, the connection is Guttagamini. Gamini means what flows. What flows? It's underneath. So, between you and the world outside, the connection is Guttagamini. In fact, even if you say that person, I'm not related to him, not related to him is also a connection. Because it has an opposite to it, I'm related to him. Isn't it? And that Guttagama, that means to say something which is, that's why we say Saraswati River. Intelligence, knowledge, and wisdom is something which is like Guttagamini. So, this is what creation is always in the form of three, not in the form of two. Because the moment you bring in two, the third will come. See, that's what Taittiriya Upanishad said. It says, food and hunger, the relationship is there. Food will take care of hunger. So these two things. Can you feel that? The third one.
Yeah.
I give a very simple example.
Satisfaction.
Trupti, right? Because it served me. Because this chair served me. Now I take care of this chair. I'll give you a small little example. And you know, these things you can make it in a very simple day-to-day life. Like, you know, when we were Vietnam, when the archipelago that we went, then they give us the rain. It's constantly there will be rain. It's a very thin drizzling will be there. So we were given the raincoat, and then after the raincoat was given, and then finished the tour, and then they were all the people that were throwing the raincoat. I did not throw it. I said, this raincoat, 3 days it helped me. I have to respect it. I took that raincoat, nicely folded nicely, and looked very beautiful. Why are you folding it? I said, look, you know, a raincoat, it took care of me 3 days. Can I take care of it for 5 minutes? Isn't it something like that? So I do it. When people saw that, they also started doing it. Said, yeah, it looks so nice now. Everything is nicely packed. It's so beautiful. Yes, simple thing. So this is what is the third thing that if you can see it. Actually, the 1 and 2 exist because of the third. If that protection giving me protection of the raincoat property is not there, I won't exist, raincoat won't exist. So we depend on that. But we don't even realize that. Anyway, we'll continue the sutra next time.
Thank you.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Anyone has any doubts in the session? Want to raise hands, anyone?
By reading the books, you don't get these things.
Okay.